Hi there, and welcome to the New York School of Design's Intro to Digital Design. My name is Vidal Cyperly Valencia, and I'm a fashion designer here in New York City. So one thing we wanted to focus on is stroke weight, and stroke weight's important within flats because it makes the sketch look more dimensional. This sketch here has a universal stroke weight of 1. So if I ungroup it, every single piece of this, including all of these inside pieces, have a stroke weight of 1 point. That's fine for when you're starting out, but functionally it does not look as dimensional or as high quality as it could. And so in something like this, it's a little bit more advanced because we've utilized for different parts, like internal seams, for instance, are often like half of a point. They're a little bit thinner than the like full edge outline or different major seams going on. So in this case, we have 0.75 on the collar. We have 0.75 on the placket. We have 0.5 at the shoulder seam. Generally, you want to make sure you're using like a 1 point stroke for your outline, and then for internal seams, it's usually 0.5 or 0.75, and then from there, it's kind of variance into how you utilize it for your own style. One thing that definitely helps a lot is creating a very dark outline that is much thicker that goes straight to the back of the sketch. So, of course, I have my back of the sketch here, as we always have the back as well. I'm going to clone it. And you can see on this sketch, it has a very thick, dark outline, and this actually makes the dimension inside of the sketch pop more. And so this is something that's very common in like hand sketching, is you often do a very thick outline on the outside, and then you're cutting around it when you're laying out your flats. In this case, what we do to make this happen in a quick way is we just go up here to Window, and we find this tool here called Pathfinder. Now, you could utilize something like ShapeBuilder, but Pathfinder is a little bit faster for this. And we're just going to make sure we have all of this selected. And we're going to click this button here, which is Unite. And this is basically going to unify every shape inside of the sketch into one new shape. Now, if I take this back to the default, and I make it black and white, you'll see it does sometimes, depending on what your sketch looks like, because this is including things like shadows, for instance, it is going to create some little bumps here. And so we're going to take the minus anchor point tool and delete some of those. Or when we're selecting our sketch, we can just ungroup it and we can delete some of these points that are like extending outside of the body. And that will altogether make it a little bit easier. So again, I'm just going to select all of it. I'm going to click in the Pathfinder. I'm going to click this one, which is called Unite. I'm going to make it regular black and white, black stroke with a white fill. This is looking a little bit better. I'm still just going to go in with my minus pen tool here and just delete one of those points. That way it doesn't have this sharp angle. And I want to delete some of these ones too. And so now I can take this shape, select it with my selection tool, and I'm going to make it like 2 points. So it's a very thick outline. But then if I take the original sketch and I clone it and bring it to the front, I can then select all of these. I can select that big background I just made, the background shape with a thicker outline, and I can use my alignment tools. And now it looks much better. I can sometimes, because the points change, the alignment does change a little bit, so I just eyeball it. But now you can see it has this very dark outline and looks a lot more dimensional for it. Additionally, some people like to add like a drop shadow effect. So you can see up here, this has like this shadow outline to it. An easy way to do that is to just make your selection and go Effect. And it should be under... Okay, so you can add this drop shadow effect by making your selection. So you'll make sure you're selecting the whole thing. You're going to go up here to Effect, and then we're going to go to Stylize, Drop Shadow. And when you go up here to Drop Shadow, it's going to give you a preview. You can turn that on and off. It's going to give you an option for some of the blend modes. and then it's going to give you an option for the color. You could make it a color if you like. However, I don't usually recommend that. But in any case, you can adjust the opacity, you can adjust how much it's offset, and at that point you can just apply it. And it's going to add your drop shadow, which will also make things look a little bit more dimensional.